Welcome back to the Daily Grind, everyone. So right here, I had some black-eyed peas. Actually, they were Texas cream pea is the actual variety of this plant, but it is in the black-eyed pea family. They're really good, they're very creamy, but that's what I had in there. And I put it in for two reasons. One, I do like eating black-eyed peas, so we did harvest some. We were able to eat some, which is really great. But the main reason is this is a brand new bed. And that is the first thing I put in here. I wanted to put something that could be a cover crop that could actually add nutrients back into the soil. And black-eyed peas are a legume, which is in kind of like the bean pea family, which means that they add nitrogen back into the soil. They pull it out of the air and drop it in to the soil. So all the legumes work with a certain type of enzyme or bacteria, I think it is actually. It might be a fungus. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but you have to add a little bit, inoculate the soil, or it depends on the inoculant. Sometimes you inoculate the actual bean before you plant it in. And then when you plant, it kind of grows that and allows the plant to work with it to be able to grow up that soil biome, which ends up allowing the plant to store nitrogen in its roots, in little nodules in its roots underneath the soil. So I'll bring you guys along. I want to show you exactly what I did here with this. This is one of all the different cover crops that I am testing. So you guys saw that I did a video on the buckwheat over here. It was buckwheat and sun hemp combined. And over here I had tillage radish. So that worked out really well. And this is the last one besides the winter wheat here, which is going to be next year. That takes a while. This is the last one for this year that I'm testing out, and I think it came out really good. So basically what we did is we waited till it did produce some beans for us, and we were able to harvest the beans. My daughter and son both helped me out here by picking those. Got quite a bit. And then of course we winnowed them and were able to collect some beans. We got a fair amount, enough for 2 good stews, which is not a ton, but it is a small little bed that we're working with. So it came out pretty good. And then I chop and dropped the beans. Get it low. As low as you can, bud. And then I covered it with a tarp for a couple weeks. I think it was roughly about a month.
I tried.
Good job.
Whoa, that was creepy.
Yeah.
Look at this, everyone. Do you see it? Oh my goodness.
And that kind of allowed everything to break down, except for the heavy stalks of the plant, because everything's not really fine. It's not just leaves, like the tillage radish. You know, the leaves itself broke down really quickly. Same thing with the buckwheat and sun hemp. But there's a lot of woody pieces that I had to then remove. And then I added some nutrients back in. While it does add nitrogen into the soil, it still needs other nutrients. So I was able to add a nutrient blend back into the soil for the next crop. And then because it is a newer bed and my soil underneath is mostly clay, I did broad fork this to be able to kind of break apart that soil underneath and allow those nutrients to drip down and get into the soil and keep that soil biome very active, which is very important because it can get anaerobic down there, especially in clay soil, and become breeding ground for bad bacteria. So you want the beneficials down there, which means there needs to be some kind of air flow down in that. So the broad forking really helps, especially for the first year or two of a brand new bed in clay soil. And then I put some more compost on top. And here we are, and we're ready to plant. So the next thing I'm going to plant is peas. Now, yes, they are a legume, they are in the same family, but the reason why I'm doing that is I really want to continue growing that specific, I want to say it's a bacteria, whatever that is. I forgot what it's called, guys. I will put that right here so that way you guys can know exactly what it's called. I'll put it right here, the name of it, and I'll also put everything down in the description section. But it's basically the inoculant, the first inoculant, but then it's in the soil. So because it's in the soil still, it didn't die off. I want to continue growing that and really kind of build that, because it'll continue growing more and more. So next year when I add beans, they will grow even better and produce more beans and also add more nitrogen back into the soil. So that's what I'll be planting here next. So in my opinion, I think for this soil, it's a really good cover crop. Honestly, I think the first cover crop I should have done should have been something with a little finer root system. I think this is really good for replenishing soil, but being brand new, I think something like that sun hemp and buckwheat is really good. Also the tillage radish, I think, outshined this as a cover crop, but it still looks really good under there. I mean, the soil, it did bring in soil biome. It did really benefit the soil. I think it really broke up that clay soil, and it looks really good under there. Right there is the compost layer. That's the end. We'll dig down in, and it just is nice, soft soil. That's really good, guys. I'm really happy with that. Try a couple spots here, but we'll dig down. There's the soil, and I mean, I can just dig down in with my hand. It's really nice looking. It's not clay anymore. It's almost sandy in a way. I don't know what that's about, because we don't have sandy soil, but it's just the clay has broken up into finer particles. It's not clumped together, and so it's looking really good. I do think though that there's still some more benefits with some of these other cover crops in the first initial round. Of course, you know, it's great for, like I said, replenishing the soil, doing it, you know, once every 2 years, 3 years, to be able to get more nitrogen back into the soil. If all you're using is compost and you're not putting nutrients back in, but even if you are, it just kind of helps not having to add as much nutrients, as much nitrogen fertilizer, which is always beneficial. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. If you guys like this kind of content, please subscribe and hit that bell notification for future video updates. Also, if you could hit the like button, helps me and the channel out. I will see you guys on the next video. Now you try to escape the daily grind.